Hey guys, it's Becky with Design Bundles, and I'm super excited today to talk to you about etching on your Silhouette Cameo. Okay, now we're using our Cameo 4, all right, but this is also true for previous models, just FYI, and we are using an aftermarket tool, all right, so keep your eye out for that. And the only reason I tell you that is because if you are still within warranty on your Cameo, that may be something that you want to explore and research, all right, to make sure that you're not causing any conflicts with your warranty. But if you're like me and you're out of warranty already, let's jump on in and we are going to start etching.
Okay, so when we are setting up a design for etching, this also works well if you're trying to use the fill option for a sketch pen. So just keep that in mind. If you're experienced with sketch pens, then this will come easily for you. When we're looking at a design, don't let it being filled in fool you. What we want to do is turn on a line color and turn your fill color to transparent. This is what will naturally etch, because this etching feature, or in the way that we're going to do it, it's going off of your cut lines. So just like it would cut this design in vinyl, this is the exact path that the tool is going to take whenever it's etching. So we need to take a look at our sketch features. This is a designer edition feature. So it's now called the line effects panel, and these are all the different options that you have. So with this selected, you can select like the crosshatch, you can select diagonal. I really like this option here, and see how it fills it in? Let's take a closer look at that. Okay, so you get this nice crosshatch. So that is what it takes to be able to etch something. Now you can also reduce the spacing all the way down so that it is really a tight weave, and that's going to give you the most complete etch. Okay, so just keep that in mind. These are the options that are available to you depending on the type of etching that you want to get. Now, I do like to take the spacing all the way down, and I do like the crosshatch feature, and see how it's filled in with black. Now, keep in mind that the tighter the weave and the larger your design, the longer this is going to take. Now, all that means is that you need to be prepared to set this to etch and walk away. Now, that doesn't mean you don't want to keep an eye on your machine, but when I say it's going to take a while, I mean it can really take a while. Luckily for us, what we're going to be using is a 2-inch metal disc. So the next thing I want to do is draw a 2-inch circle. And we will use our transform and scale panel and just type in 2. And the same for our design, we can use the scale, and I'm going to type in 1.8. Now that should fit pretty nicely in there, but you don't want to go too crazy with it as far as pushing the borders, okay? And the next thing that I'm going to do, because my metal disc has a small circle because it will attach to a key ring, I'm going to just draw a small circle, and I'm going to center that, okay, so that whenever I line up my design, I can line it up in an area to where I don't interfere with that circle. Now that's not mandatory, but it is definitely like a best practices, because your etching tool can get stuck in that little hole, in the hole for the keyring blank. Okay, after I'm done with that, I can take it back out. Now, I am also going to create a small offset. It doesn't have to be anything big. We'll do the offset 0.05, okay? And this is going to make sense in a minute. What I want to do is scroll out, well, just kidding. We will delete that inside circle. We don't actually need that. But we want to make sure that the offset and the design for the etching stay together. And I'm going to move this down to the bottom. It doesn't have to be all the way to the bottom, but at least partial way down. And I promise all of this makes sense, okay? Now when I click over to my send, the first thing that I want to do is I want to turn off the cut for my design, because right now all I want to do is cut that circle. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this through the back of my adhesive vinyl. So I'm going to change this from vinyl glossy to cardstock plain. There we go. And let's go ahead and jump on over to our silhouette, and I'll show you what I'm doing and kind of give you an idea why.
Okay, so here's what we're doing over here. This is my regular Silhouette cutting mat. And remember that I put that circle all the way down here at the bottom? So I'm going to line up, this is just a scrap piece of adhesive vinyl, and I'm going to turn it over to the back. And I'm gonna line this up right here on this 9. Okay, paper backing side up. Now I'm going to line this up in my Cameo. Load. Okay. And what I'll be able to do is it will cut my circle here so that I can line up my metal blank. So let's go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you about lining it up and about the tool that we're going to use to engrave on this metal.
Okay, so let's hit the pause button real quick. Now it is absolutely vital, after you've positioned your design on the cutting mat and after you have cut the circle where your metal blank is going to be placed, that you do not unload your cutting mat and you do not move the design in your workspace. Now the reason that that is because this is the method that it takes in order to ensure that your etching design is going to line up exactly where you need it to on your metal blank, okay? So do not unload and do not move your design until you are completely done with your project.
Okay, so with our circle cut here, you can see the goal was to cut off the paper backing but still leave the adhesive vinyl. Can you see it right there? Okay, so what that means, this is my metal etching blank, okay? Now it has a protective coating on one side. That means that this is the coating we want to engrave onto. Okay, that makes it the pretty side, the shiny side, however you want to look at it. There we go, because it's been nice and protected this whole time. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and position it into that circle. Remember, we have the circle. And we are going to put it right there in the middle. Can you guys see? So we had cut that offset around the outside, and we've centered our blank into the middle of that. Okay, now make sure that's secured in place. Now the tool that we're using, I'm using an adapter because I have to for my Cameo 4. Okay, but this is a third-party etching tool, all right, that you can find. These were sold back for the Cameo 3, Cameo 2, Curio, that sort of thing, but they fit in with this adapter. This is the one, the blue number 1 adapter. Okay, so I'm going to take my blade out, set it to the side, and I'm going to insert this adapter with my etching tool and lock it into place. Okay. So with that being said, I'm going to jump back over to the software and show you where we're going to go from here.
Okay, back in the Silhouette software, we're still looking at the send panel. What we want to do is we want to turn that circle, the one we just cut, to no cut. And then we want to click on our Happy Crafting, and we're going to change the action to sketch. Okay, we'll leave the sketch pen as the tool. Doesn't really make that big of a difference. And then we will change it to sketch right here. And it should light up in bright red down here to let us know that that's the part that we'll be sketching. And I'm going to leave the force and the speed the same. And I can just hit send, and it will begin to sketch my design.
Okay, so what we're looking for, can you see that beautiful etching on there, right? We just want to examine it and make sure that everything looks good, which of course it does. It looks absolutely amazing.
and then we can eject this and attach our keychain hardware.
All right, are you pretty impressed? Are you as impressed as I was with how well this etched? Now, I really love using the metal blanks because number one, they have a pretty awesome finish, but number two, they're nice and thin and they fit easily right into your Cameo. Now, this will work on prior models too because it's so thin, but you can use the same concept on different thicknesses of acrylic. All right, and that's where we get interesting. So make sure you keep an eye on our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe because that will be something that we will be bringing to you in the future, just in case you were wondering. And of course, if you have any questions about etching on metal blanks, make sure you leave them in the comment section below because I do personally come back and check in with you guys. And also make sure you subscribe to the channel. All right, because we always have a lot of great projects coming for you. I really appreciate it, guys. We will see you next time.